And there we have it. We are back, and I've run the numbers for episode 8. That was a 0.7 year period. So I added an annualized revenue line here. It's bringing us to 200 million per year revenue. That's 25% above the previous episode, which in turn was 27% above the episode prior to that. So we are definitely getting our sales up, which is very important because it allows us to dilute our expenses. So advertising went from 8.7 to 6.9. Training is down from 3.4 to 2.7, and R&D went down actually from 24% on episode 6 to 19 to 15 on episode 8. This has consequently increased our operating margin to 11.4 versus negative 6.5 on episode 6. This is the way to go. I think the main focus for the next couple of years will be to continue increasing the overall activity, the overall revenues, to continue diluting this and trying to progress towards our goal. As for cash, it went down 22 million, but loans went down by 42. So our net debt is now at 43 versus 64 with an LTM EBITDA of 2.9. That's a leverage of 15 times EBITDA. Still very high, but as we solidify our business in this overall plan to become a semiconductor company, we will improve very so slightly. So coming back to the business, we just created actually transformed the CPU company into CCD. Still no customers, but we're at 110 overall rating because of this low prices. Try to get some sort of customer going on. I will like to highlight that our CPU factory here is running well, it's keeping everything under control, but I think it's worth putting up a little bit of training. And I think there are other interesting observations when we look at the other products. So printers seems to be going up. Look at this chart, seems to be recovering. Mobile phones, curiously enough, demand is very, very high. Take a quick look at cities. Barcelona actually has a very high market share with other retailers helping us along. And look at that overall rating as brand picked up, as quality picks up. So we are definitely above local competitors. I think we have some space for corrected pricing and make more money for everybody. Yeah, and for the other cities, Santiago, very low market share. Where you should be getting more retailers, although the factory is now the constraint, but that rating is through the roof. I'll keep quite the advantage. And as for Beijing, same thing, although not as much. I guess marketing here most likely has to be a lot more aggressive. But of course, what's the use of selling more if you can't produce it? So this is a interesting dilemma. We do know that the product will be replaced by camera phones down here and eventually smartphones as well. But for now, I think the demand justifies an increase in capacity. So I'll go ahead and produce a warehouse. That's bigger than I thought. Yeah, that's the size. So let's put it here. Input and input. Down to a storage and a output. Tachyon, mobile phones, this is coming from Tachyon Telecom. I'll just go ahead and rename that and then duplicate it. That's correct. Electron components is correct. Telecom B. Let this kick in a bit. There we have the mobile phones coming out. And then when we look at this, of course, we have several customers. It's at 157. So in the new factory, I am at, oh, it's actually the same price. I'm just going to change this slightly, keep it on internal sales to decrease prices. Then these boys, Tachyon B, going to be removed from internal sales. Get 157. Actually, decrease it a little bit more. My competitors are smart. They'll swap. The warehouse will be selling it for cheaper. And of course, our stores, they need to purchase from the warehouse. So mobile phones, link, warehouse. I need to rename that warehouse. That's one. Mobile phones, warehouse, Barcelona. Let's go for the second store. Where is the second store? There you go. From the warehouse. Then Santiago. So that's one at Santiago. And that's two. Back to Beijing. Got that running. I wonder how long it will take for them to notice. There you go. Now actually increase this price. Try to push those computer players to purchase from the warehouse. CPUs are keeping up with demand. It's a good sign. Got it on full training. Desktop computers. I find it curious this firm has been open for quite a while. Profit of the product, zeroed out. But there we go. Selling to Serpentine as well. Demand is slowly increasing. But also we have a job to do, and as soon as the technology gets developed. These guys are through basically a 1-year cycle to produce their new products. It's already down to 8 months. That's good. And meanwhile, take a quick look at our printer factories. Pretty low in the profits, that's fine. Comes down to the warehouse, to sell it to everybody, or supposedly selling to everybody. Currently not the case, but quality is slowly going up. We start to compete with Compass Point, which has a 46 quality product with a lot of brands. We need to invest. Now, our brands in Beijing, they are not developing. That's interesting. So, come here to corporate brand. Beijing, look at that. Advertising. Beijing is quite high actually, so something is clearly not working. So let's leave. New media, it's actually good rating and actually good cost. Perhaps what I need is spend more. So I will make that investment. And we'll have to slowly see if we can build up brand awareness. Well, it is improving. That's good. That's 6, but I want to see printers because this is where we are actually taking quite a beating from Compass Point. And I wonder if I can see what they are spending in terms of advertising. I think I can. I come into corporate details, Compass Point, advertising. Look at that. That's a lot of money they're spending in Beijing. Interesting. 270. Let's push. Rating's going up. There you go. I have to put in a little bit more into our profitability. Local competitors are actually pretty good. It's at 60. But this will go up hopefully to much higher levels. I'm slowly going to increase prices here. Keep an eye, because I know that there is a hard limit to prices when all of a sudden your sales just drastically decrease. They're having a hard time keeping up. Yep. They're capturing every little bit of profitability that they can because they are highly pressured. But yeah, so notebooks are coming in 3 months. 1 month for desktop computers. Oop, oop, oop. Look at that. Global Inks developed the camera phone 3.9 months before us. Well, we gotta catch up. And this is a big threat because we just duplicated all of the business. Got plenty of supply. Take a look. They're still purchasing from me here. What about my warehouse? Still not purchasing from my warehouse. I'm slowly going to increase this. Squeeze them out. And of course, silicon is ready. Take a quick look here. So silicon, that was a very small unit. Went up to 69 tech. With another 2-year project. I guess we can go up for 3 years. 98, that's pretty good. So as for technology, I wonder if this empty cells means that I'm missing something. Take a quick look. Camera could be a possibility. Yeah, electronic components, glass, good. Wi-Fi systems, plastic is in, printers, silicon, steel. Yeah, so let's go for any random product. I'll just cycle through very short stints, as I want to have this very liquid, so to speak, to guarantee that we can swap it over for something more relevant ASAP. I'd like to check if we have any product here. We have plenty of R&D units. Plastic here, 1 month. Makes more sense to throw plastic down there. Plastic is like one of the most filler things possible. So it will definitely be used for the... What I could do is throw... Mobile phones are already down to 3. Okay. So once these 2 are ready, I'm going to have to develop smartphones and tablets, which means that I will need 2 R&D centers. So I think I may throw desktop computers. These are already in 2 months. This is already in 1 month. So what I think I'm going to do is actually throw glass. I'll terminate you. I'm going to throw steel down there. Throw glass down to 3 cell and have 6 cells dedicated to desktop computers. That will free up this R&D center for tablets. This will be for smartphones. And I'll have to keep an eye on the demand for these products. bait. Oh, okay, select products. That's okay. Printers up. That's great. So we're up to 103. I wonder if I should go up for a 2-year project, maybe? This is a very delicate topic, but this is the one that we're facing a lot of competition. We're up to 83 in quality, competition is down to 56. And if you think about production, we have 75. So our products are actually coming out at 91. And competition will very slowly decrease. So I think it may be worth pushing for another 1-year project and squeeze this as quickly as possible. Too early to increase 2 years. Electronic components is also ready. It's great, electronic components. Up to 1 year, I'm actually going to terminate you. Take you to 2 years. Well, that factory's up for sale. That's sad. Yeah. So we are very close to these new steps. One month for that. There's the desktop computers. So what I'm going to do is actually terminate you. And now wait for these to finish. So you got plastic. Terminate you. I'm not going to have 6 months. CCDs. What am I doing with CCDs? CCDs right here. Let's do a 1-year project. Right. 72. I'm surprised. And we have CPUs, right? 95. Slowly contributing to better products. What I think I'm going to do is actually stop you. Go for 2 years. Mobile phones at 70. You have a little bit of competition. I wonder if I should maintain that. One of the next steps is to get clear of these rearrangements. This product, allocate these 2 R&D centers for the new products for the smartphone and tablet. I wonder if someone's already researching tablets. Will I have a head start or not? And there's a notebook. So we are increasing tech in a 6-month project to 38. I don't know, man. Let's take a quick look. Products, computer, notebook. They have raw material 17, product quality 51 because of 34 production tech. That's 50. How long will it take for me to get 50? I need 20 points. It's a 1-year pro. Okay, that's not that far. I still don't have the factory for this. But I'm actually going to do a 1-year project. I'm going to match them pretty quickly. Then here we can start the tablet computer. It's a 6-year project. If you say so. And these guys are up next. Steel, glass, mobile phones. Very good. So I'm going to throw down steel here. You can go for a 2-year project. Glass will come down here. Two-year project. Terminate you. Well, the desktop computers. You know what? Mobile phones. We got that tech as well. This is the one starting to face some competition. So when we think about computers, we are leaders in the production. Think about mobile phones. Yeah, we are building one of these. Okay, that's pretty good. So I think maybe I can actually keep mobile phones there. Desktop computers, yeah. What I'm going to do is a pretty short cycle. I think 2 years should be enough. This is one that can eventually be broken down to trios. But that will perhaps depend on these guys getting developed. So what I need now is this tech to be ready. It's another 1 year. No, that's 1 month. Okay. I'll let that trickle down a little bit. And meanwhile, we can start to think about the camera phones. The notebooks. I'm wondering if I should wait for this 1 year project. It's 11 months. Maybe I should start with the camera phones first. Is someone producing it? Nobody's producing them. So we have a chance to be the head start kickstarting company with this category of product. I'll be very comfortable. So yeah, just let time trickle by a little bit quicker. There we go. We've got camera phones now. I'm going to terminate this. Come in for the camera phone. Push it up to 50 tech, 53. And I think camera phones is worth starting first because notebooks, we already have a dominant player. Look at that brand. Camera phones, this is unique, so I am definitely going to want to tackle this. Let me take a quick look at the other product, mobile phones, and see how we are doing. So about 50% market share. Barcelona greatly dominated. Santiago is a lot of room. Beijing as well. But this is a great product. You have clear domination. They're still selling from this super expensive factory. They have not transitioned to my warehouse, have they? Not a single one. So the next step is, of course, to increase that price. Try to push them over. In the meantime, take a look at capacity. So that's halfway. This guy is more than halfway. This guy is exceedingly demanded. Try to double up our capacity to get decent output. And what I could do is with the factory, well, it depends. Perhaps this has been a constraint. So I know for a fact that one factory was not enough. I wonder if I should convert one to camera phone. But even if I'm inefficient in this step and create all these duplicated supply chain elements for the camera phone, I will have time to fix that for the next product, the smartphone. So I will actually begin duplicating everything. I won't have space here, will I? Duplicate everything for the camera phone. So when we think about camera phones, what do we need? camera phones. We need the CCD instead of the CPU. Smartphone will be in the CPU. But for now, it's electronic components and plastic. It's more sales for my electronic components. How are we doing to? Oh, we're actually pretty good. Great. So let's go ahead and build up our 3-input cycle. I'm pretty confident this will require full capacity. And I'll just unify one of plastic. And I will duplicate Tachyon products. CCDs? No, I want to minimize CCDs, so I'm going to put in electronic components. Camera phone. Quality is coming at 37. I'm actually going to make this more expensive than what they pay for the. Ooh, look at that. Here. They're desperate for this product. And what this means is that we will require a new floor very soon, but not now. So let's come ahead and purchase our fantastic camera phones, start advertising. Oh, look at that. Oh yeah, of course, they dominate it. They're charging 416. No, that was because we had a price agreement. Local competition, NA. Isn't that interesting? So 36, is that a good enough price? How we are turned to little bars. Okay, we're in the positives. So let's go ahead and add another one. Well, 100% market share, of course, the new product. We need to pay attention to this guy. Does it have a reasonable volume? So these guys are selling 464. Okay. This is a new product. I guess it can be expensive, but this is going to invite new competition. I gotta pay attention to that. So let's take a look at Barcelona and start adapting our retails to launch this new product. I think we're very kind with our little friends. Allow them sell our products first. Make those up, get these prices unified. About domination. These guys will start decreasing prices because we will have competition from camera phones. Supposedly, camera phones will suck up part of the demand, and the same thing will happen with smartphones on top of that. And of course, when we think about computers, you have desktop computers. They're great. Notebook computers, I think they're already eating to desktop computers, and soon, more specifically 6 years, tablets will do the same to notebook computers. So this is all great. Let's take a look at our demo. Ooh, CCDs are actually overburdened. Apparently I'll have to do 3 of them. Oops. A little bit of training. How are we doing with silicon? Okay, that's fine. Plenty of inventory. Decrease a little bit of that training. So far, so good. Running through these technologies. How are we doing with desktop computers? I was going to, oh yeah, I was going to do here the new product. So it's the smartphone. Look at it. 6 years as well. Let's go. All right. Happy with that. What I'm going to do is take a quick look at our goals. Look at that revenue, first of all. Like to profit, I'm sorry. Well, like, take the time and appreciate the size of those green bars. That must have been our first initial sale of the camera phones. Also, look at our goals. We curiously are approaching the 1 billion value mark. Now, my fear is that it's all coming from hipermercados. 76 price. I'm gonna start cashing in on this before it's a little bit too late. Down to 30%. I'll go down to 25%. It's a quick dump. Prices are down right around 50%. That's enough. Cashed in on that. We approached our goal just based on that. That's so anticlimactic. Of course, our financial actions, we have still 120 million loans. I think we can repay 67. Repay it all, but why not do it slowly? Set dividends. That's interesting. Don't need an HQ anymore to do that. That's fine. I will want to take the opportunity to quick look at our corporations. We're up in cash. Number 1, after selling all those shares. Our revenue and profits are taking apparently a little short-term dip here. This dip right here. But we're still very high in the rankings. Number 1 is still Eternal Motion. Very interesting. And as for business relations, a lot of trade with a happy resource. Of course, hipermercados. So let's take a look at our corporate details. So as for Tachyon right here, take a look at our firms, retail. This is where everything happens. Factories are not far behind. And for products, desktop computer, these numbers are way healthier than the last episode. These were like at 27 million. But mobile phones took a huge leap to 80. Look at that. So I'm extremely excited for what camera phones can do. And then printers are back into number 3 with a very healthy 30 million. This would have been number 1 in the previous episode. CPUs, electronic components, a very healthy position of 7 million. And just to remember, printers were actually tied up with these guys, so that's very good progress. As for graphs, taking a look at the 3-year graph, revenue's going healthily up. And look at a 30 graph, look at that, we're almost, I'll say, some 70% of what we used to be. Expenses, of course, have a very similar curve. Profit, woo! This is a surprise. We're actually above what we used to be before. This is super encouraging. I think we're on our way to just steamroll it. And as for net profit, same thing, actually even better. Of course, you have a better debt position, I guess. And for net worth, going up even more. So charts number 2, cash is good. Land and resources inventory, stock assets. This is a huge reason for why we've almost beat our goals. And as for business assets, total debt, R&D expenses are stagnant. Advertising going up slightly. I think this is our realization that Beijing, for some reason, perhaps for the size of the population, just requires more cash. And training. It's very interesting how cities are so different in advertising. This is a huge learning process for me. And salaries expenses, they're going up as well. Taking a look at our own stocks, it's 243 million now. They have only 25%. That's a billion almost just by itself. Balance sheet, this is an important element. Our loans are at 55 million. And cash that healthy 349. As for income statement, last year, our last year operating profit was of 93. That's good. Our revenues at 318. That's an uptick. You'll see that when I put it all into the spreadsheet. And yeah, net profit 400 million in the last 12 months. Just basically selling stocks. Yeah, stocks have gone up. This is a big reason. But I will have to admit that the reason why that those stocks are up, yeah, it's a business that we built ourselves. Seep Mercados Tachyon. So yeah, you have some merit. As for technology, it took a look here at tech above 30. We've got CCDs at 65, going to 84. This is one of the laggards in terms of semi-products. I think we have a lot of room to gain here. And as our camera phones pick up in pace, it will be more important. Just as CPUs is for desktop computers, and CPUs are going up as well. The same 2-year project to 100. It's a good mark. And desktop computers, finished products have a lot of weight for the tech. So 92 tech and desktop computers is very important, going up to 116 in about 2 years. Electronic components as well. Glass, this is very marginal. It will be used for tablets. It's worth noting. And I think smartphones as well, but we're only at 44. Going up to 67 in 2 years is a huge leap, but we are laggards here. And for mobile phones, our classic product, our main cash source, is at 63 still. So the fact that we're at 63 going to 71, that's a very mild jump. It's a very low level for such an important product. I think we are very lucky actually. As for plastics, we have the tech for 32, but we're purchasing from the seaport. Guess that's okay for now. It could be some optimization for a long-term play, but as we're approaching the end game goals, that may not be that necessary. As for printers, we're at 93, going to 106 in tech. Small leap. We're dedicating a huge block here, but for very quick steps. Project 1 year, 9 years. That's quite unexpectedly low of a jump, but it is a progress. As for silicon, also laggard in my opinion, 63. We are jumping to 92. Probably take another 2 years and a half here. And we have some tech for televisions and toy racing cars. I'm assuming that hi-fi systems, we do not have hi-fi systems. Hi-fi systems. Advertising, as you know, we went up in expenses because of Beijing, so we're spending 270,000 per product. But the ranking is going up. Camera phone is still at 2 because it's a new product, just began. But the other ones, they're going up. This is making up for some of our gaps towards our competition, especially in printers. Barcelona, curiously, is the city that Barcelona is curiously one that super easy to make a strong brand. We spend only 100,000. Perhaps you can decrease this even more at 95 to 193. Super great. And Santiago is also growing very slowly, but at a healthy 130,000, just less than half from Beijing. So that is interesting just by itself. As for dominance, we're 7th and 6th for retail and manufacturing respectively. And as for the products, number 1 camera phones, of course, we're the one producing it. Number 1 in mobile phones with a 59% market share. We've got, this is actually retailing, but we are the only ones producing it. Perhaps this has, local competitors. So 59% market share, that's great. It's starting to enter the area of diminishing returns. That makes us number 1 in the whole category. As for computers, we're 2nd in computers. This is very provocative because although we have 44% number 1 in printers, which is not something I was expecting because we have competition in production printers by Compass Group. But desktop computers, this is basically limited by our production capacity. Maybe that's an opportunity. And we're first with 43%, but we also have notebook computers. If I put in all, look at that. This is very nice. I like this. Let's take a look at computers, notebook computers. Leader has 48, we have 0. This is what is dragging us down. And these are the rankings. Great margins, great cash, and great debt, I guess. So yeah, good progress. And we'll see ourselves in the next episode, which could see us beating our overall goals. So take care. Have a good one.